What's up, Gambino Gaming Nation? To my immediate reactions to WWE Bad Blood from Atlanta, Georgia premium live event, which, in my personal opinion, was a very damn good PLE. If you haven't watched it all the way through, this will be a spoiler filled review. So if you haven't watched it yet, pause this video, go watch the PLE, come back to see my review of the PLE in its totality. So to open up the PLE, we had the Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, which was a blood-filled match. A lot of hard hitting, a lot of hard spots. Just a very damn good Hell in a Cell. Probably the best one within recent memory. I think the last really good one that comes to my mind immediately, if you've been around the channel for a while, was the New Day versus the Usos. We've seen CM Punk pick up the win with Drew McIntyre getting overwhelmed or overly emotionally involved in the story with the beads from the bracelet, which caused him to miss a Claymore, land right on the steel steps, which led CM Punk to wrapping a chain around his knee and hitting a go to sleep for the 1, 2, 3. This match from start to finish was hard hitting, impact from both guys. A lot of spots. It seemed like Drew was going to win because he had so much offense for the first 2 quarters, 3 quarters of the match. But CM Punk finally got his offense, and both guys ended up busted open. There's some submission, a lot of finishers. It was just a very impactful match, and it delivered on both sides. I kind of had a feeling that Punk was going to win, even though I wanted Drew to win because you know me, I'm not a Punk fan. I do not like Phil whatsoever, but he picked up the win here, and it leads me to believe what's next for Punk. Is it going after Gunther and the World Heavyweight title, or is it picking up another feud with someone else like maybe Seth Rollins? But we know he's already tied up with Big Bronson Reed. I would give this match 5 stars. It was good. It delivered on all levels that it needed to deliver it on, and I was thoroughly impressed from start to finish. Not a boring spot. A lot of stuff to keep you involved in the match as it continued to develop the story that we've been following for however many months it has been so far. Following that match, we had not Nia versus Bailey. Was that the next one? I might have these out of order, but we had Nia versus Bailey. It was a pretty good match. I have no gripes or no complaints. There was a very confusing spot on the possibility of Nia hitting a Hurricanrana when Bailey went for a powerbomb. There was that tension between Nia and Tiffany Stratton when Nia thought Tiffany was cashing in. Bailey did things that Bailey did. Nia showed a lot of different offense that she hasn't shown beforehand, and she ended up picking up the win with the help from Tiffany Stratton, and air quotations, hitting. She hit a belly to Bailey in the middle of the match, and then to finish the match, she hit a top rope Samoan Destroyer, and then hit the Annihilator for the 1, 2, 3. I give this match a 3.9, right on the cusp of a 4-point match. Wasn't nothing too impressive. It was a good match. You know, Bailey can always put on a good match with no matter who she's in the ring with, but it just didn't really get my gears going. Love to see my girl Nia pick up the win. I love seeing Tiffany Stratton out there with her fine ass, but that's nor here nor there. Following that, Damian Priest versus Finn. Had a feeling that Finn was going to win this match, which he didn't. I thought the numbers game would have benefited him in the totality, but it didn't really pay off. JD and Carlito came out to interfere with the match, but it ended up costing him. He hit quite a few coup de grace, one on the center mass of Damian Priest, and then 2 or 3 on his back. And then he went for another one where Damian caught him in the air and hit him with the South of Heaven for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd was chanting yeet. with the idea that maybe Jey Uso would come out to help Damian fend off the Judgment Day, which he didn't, which I think is best for this storyline going forward. I think this Finn versus Damian continues to push forward and might even go all the way to Mania. I thought, honestly, I don't know who needed this win more. I think, in my personal opinion, I would think that Finn needed this win more than Damian did, but it's kind of like a right down the middle 50-50 split on who deserved it more. I don't think this story is done with at all. I think it's going to continue to push forward as we continue on throughout the year. Then we had that title that was announced by Triple H for Crown Jewel. Very piss poor design. I think Gunther did save that whole segment coming out here and talking shit to Goldberg and his son, talking shit to telling him to go in there and to beat up Gunther, and Goldberg even hopped the guardrail and was getting held back by security, and then Sammy came out to deliver some attacks and to get them separated. And at that point where they were at the top of the ramp, I thought Goldberg was going to deliver a spear, which he didn't. Not sure where they're going to go with that storyline, if it's going to be something that they follow going forward, or if it was just because it was in Atlanta that it happened. 15-carat diamond championship that will be on the line during a pair of matches at Crown Jewel. Yeah, just another Crown Jewel match that didn't really need to happen. We had X-Pac, Tully Blanchard, and Arn Anderson in the crowd. Lil Baby, Quavo, and Metro Boomin. And then we had Rhea versus Liv Morgan, with Dominic being held up in the shark cage. And this match was cool. I enjoyed it. Fed into the storyline. Rhea got a little too involved, and once Dominic got the cage open and then he fell, she went out there and used him as her personal birthday piñata and was hitting him with the kendo stick, which led to the return of Raquel Rodriguez, who we are believing is going to continue to partner with Liv Morgan going forward, and might even be another member of the Judgment Day as her personal bodyguard going forward. There was also some yeet chants there for Jade to come out and aid Rhea. She had this match won, but she was too involved in delivering pain and torture to Dominic, who emotionally hurt her and has physically hurt her since that last pay-per-view or PLE. I think I'm okay with Raquel being in this storyline. My friend Josh Hopper, shout out to Josh if you see this. He called Raquel showing up in this PLE. I don't think it really hurts the storyline too much. It gives Liv a little bit more security, with a complete and total difference in height and strength between her and Rhea. Now Rhea's got to go against someone of her own stature, which is kind of interesting. We know Rhea and Raquel can really put on a really good match together. So Liv ends up winning. I guess Rhea technically wins by disqualification, but Liv retains the title. I didn't think Rhea was going to walk out as champion by any means. I think this feud will also probably push its way all the way into WrestleMania, in which Rhea might get the belt back then. But overall, I guess I give this one a 3.8, 3.9. It was a really solid match. I wouldn't say ruined by interference, but the interference helps play into the storyline. I need to go back and give a star rating for Priest versus Balor. I give it about a 4.3. I think it was really good. Bailey and I said 3.9, so we can continue to move forward. Then we have the main event, which was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Womp, 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 womp. Solo, I love you. This match was great. The crowd was really feeding into the Cody Roman teaming pairing. Cody had the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff marching band out there to perform Kingdom. It was kind of hard to tell that that's what they were playing at first, but once you kind of get to that point in the entrance music, you realize that that's what was being played. I will say this firsthand: I'm not a huge fan of the Cody Rhodes little mask thing. I do not like that thing at all. But to each their own. Roman came out. We put our ones up. We acknowledge our real tribal chief, the OTC. It was I kind of was waiting to see when there would be interference from this new bloodline from Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. It kind of lasted until to the very end of the match, in which if you could pay attention to the members of the crowd, they were looking in the direction of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, and you were like, what is it? Who could it be? And it turned out to be the returning Jimmy Uso, who laid out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa with some super kicks and distracted Solo Sikoa enough to where Roman can hit the spear for the 1, 2, 3. And then Jimmy comes in, they hug and mend all broken relationships, even though Roman had no ill will towards Jimmy or why he was no longer part of the this new bloodline. He was kicked out by his baby brother Solo Sikoa as he continued to bring in his own members for the bloodline. Jimmy and Roman continue to exit the ring or walking up the ramp where this new bloodline begins to attack Cody Rhodes, and Jimmy's telling Roman like, hey, you gave him your word that you would have his back, and Roman's like, that was a one-time thing, and it was kind of like, hey, do the right thing, Oos. And then they go into the ring to fend off this new bloodline of Solo Sikoa's, and Roman hands over the title to Cody Rhodes, and then you hear that dun dun dun. The final boss arrived. There was a lot of speculation that he would be here because he's saying he was in the state of Georgia for other things, and he comes out and he just stands at the front of the entrance ramp and does a couple different things with his hands that I'm going to have to dive deeper into to seeing what it is. Is it the fact that he is the final boss for Solo Sikoa's bloodline, or does he have his own separate bloodline with other members of the Anawahi family and members who've been a part of it throughout wrestling history, or people we don't know? Maybe he has give me a second to think here. What is Umaga's son's name? Zilla Fatu. Maybe Zilla Fatu's part of his family bloodline, and we get a 3-on-3 3-team Survivor Series match. That would be pretty fire. Roman, Jimmy, Cody, fill-in fourth member versus Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, the infamous Tonga Loa, and the right-hand man Tonga Loa versus The Rock, Zilla, fill-in name for Survivor Series. That would be pretty tough. Paul Levesque, that would be pretty tough. I would really, really like that. But that is, I mean, I would like to know what those hand gestures meant, because if you'd seen Solo Sikoa's bloodline was retreating up the stands and not really moving towards where The Rock was stationed, so I don't, at first glance, don't really think that they were running together. It's kind of hard to tell what the direction of this feud is going to go now that The Rock is back. So if we're going to take this time and we're going to go to we're going to go to Reddit and see what they're talking about on Reddit. Is that the right one? Oh. Alright, so as we go through the Reddit, there is the final boss. Is it going to show the hand gestures that I was speaking of? No, it is not. What is going on there? Is that Kevin Owens? It is Kevin Owens. Oh, I think Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes. Here's another look at The Rock return to Bad Blood. You can skip forward a little bit. Tapping his heart or his family crest. I'd love to show y'all the hand gesture that he made. Let's go to the squared circle. Shout out to the squared circle. Nope. There's Goldberg and his son. Obafemi. But doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find it. There's Tiffany Stratton's fine. That's good. Googly moogly. I don't know if we're going to have to deal with Goldberg again in WWE. If you know me, I'm a huge Goldberg fan, but I don't want to see Goldberg versus Gunther. Here's a look at that Crown Jewel title. Yeah, not a fan. Jimmy was acting hella crazy with his facial expressions in his return once he took off his hood and his bandana that he was wearing. This fan right here is very happy. Another up and close and look at this Crown Jewel belt. I think it's a complete waste of a belt, and I don't think that the IWC Internet Wrestling community is going to care for this belt at all. From what I've seen from Reddit posts, no one really cares. So yeah, that was Bad Blood. Leaves a lot of storylines open, like the Liv versus Rhea. Seeing what's going on forth with Gunther, going on forward with CM Punk, the Bloodline as in its completion, with The Rock returning and Jimmy returning. It leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves you tied in and interested to see what's going to happen going forward. I usually do 5-star ratings, so I would give this like a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed Bad Blood in its fullest. Not many really gripes and complaints. What's next for Nia since she beat Bayley? What's going to be the tension between her and Tiffany Stratton? What's next for Finn and Damian Priest going forward? It was a PLE to close and continue storylines going forward as we get to like Survivor Series, and it did exactly that, and I'm very much so satisfied. If you are new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Reddit, the Discord, Patreon, follow the TikTok as we're going to get back live on there. I have been your host, and this was my Bad Blood review, 4.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for your time. Until next time, peace.